Scripture Union has long been known for its work in bringing the Bible alive and making it truly accessible for as many people as possible. But in recent times, they've become aware that there is a whole section of society for whom connecting with the Bible in any real way becomes increasingly difficult. There is an increasing number of people in the United Kingdom suffering from dementia. And that throws up a real challenge, not just for the Christian community at large, but specifically for Scripture Union, who have responded by producing an imaginative, practical and truly inspirational resource called Being with God. Well, to tell us more about that resource, let me introduce you to Tricia Williams, who is the creative developer of Scripture Union's adult Bible resources. So, Tricia, why did Scripture Union feel that they should get involved in this whole area of dementia?
Well, we produce Bible reading guides for people. We have done for years and years, and it's very easy to forget that there are some people who perhaps can't read the Bible in the same way that they used to. And we became increasingly conscious that there are 820,000 people in the UK who have dementia. And as far as we can understand, there was nothing out there which would help them to continue connecting with God every day. And I had a phone call from a friend who is a former colleague at Scripture Union, and he said, he told me about his wife, Valerie, who has been suffering from dementia, and sadly has now passed away. And they had read the Bible together for many, many years. I read the Bible and prayed together every day, and that he could find nothing that he could use with her anymore because of all the problems we associate with dementia, sort of short concentration span, memory, and so on. And we started thinking about it then, and just after I'd spoken to him, 2 or 3 days later, had a phone call from another friend who has been doing some research on dementia, and she said, could Scripture Union perhaps create a Bible resource especially for these people and their carers? So that was the trigger to this journey.
How do you know that a dementia sufferer not only wants to connect to God, but is actually able to?
It's interesting that many carers of people who have got dementia report that how perhaps someone who hasn't spoken for weeks and weeks, they maybe hear a hymn that was familiar or a prayer, like the Lord's Prayer, or they hear some familiar Bible verses, and perhaps if it's music, they start joining in, or perhaps tears begin to run down their cheeks because it just evokes those memories and unlocks something. And it's important too to remember that whilst dementia sufferers, cognitively, their minds have just stopped being able to process thoughts, nevertheless, emotions remain intact. And God is concerned about the whole person. And we just see from the response that people give that they have an awareness of God being with them.
Obviously, Scripture Union had all of the expertise needed in terms of biblical quotations and prayers. But what other kind of expertise did you have to bring on board in the planning stage?
I went to Alzheimer's Society, of course, and talked to some very helpful people there. And they kindly actually looked at the material and said that they felt it was appropriate for use with people with dementia. The person who really helped me a lot and was my expert consultant throughout the project has been a lady called Margaret Goodall, who is the advisory chaplain for Methodist Homes for the Aged, MHA. And she was very, very helpful, both in advising me about approaches that we needed to take and also in speaking to the chaplains for MHA and showing them the material. And they gave her feedback and she reported that back to me. We also spoke to the Christian Council on Ageing, CCOA, and again they read the material and felt that what we were doing was appropriate and gave some very helpful feedback and comments where we just amended and adjusted things slightly.
So in the end, what did you come up with?
We came up with the idea for 3 guides. It's a series called Being with God, and there are 3 titles: Words of Hope, Words of Faith and Words of Peace. And each title has 31 daily devotionals in it, with a CD of all the music that's featured in those devotionals at the back. And each day has got a really sort of simple outline with a prayer and with a Bible reading and with some things to talk about and also some suggestions of pictures or objects to bring in, just to prompt and unlock those memories. And then, as I say, there's a song every day, so that people can sing as well or play an instrument, join in.
Because music can be very evocative, can't it?
Yes, it is. Yes. Again, there are just many stories of somebody hearing a familiar hymn and that just triggering emotion and alertness in a way which hasn't been seen for weeks.
What reaction have you had to this so far?
Really warm reactions from people around the world. And actually from one or two people who are just at the beginning of dementia. They also have said, thank you very much for doing this. People are very, very grateful, and obviously feeling that there's nothing like it elsewhere that they're found. So, yeah.
So this very much fits into the ethos of Scripture Union. What are your hopes and your prayers then for its future?
Our hopes and prayers are that this is found by the people who need it and who are perhaps feeling isolated and lonely, who it will bring comfort and encouragement to, and let them know that God cares for them and that He is with them in this difficult and challenging time in their lives.
Well, the people who will benefit from this wonderful resource, most of all, of course, those who suffer from dementia, may not be able to say thank you themselves, but it is a wonderful idea. It's going to have a great future, and we wish you well with it. Well, if you would like to know how to get a copy of Being with God, the details are on screen now.